Hey, what is up, guys? You are live with Mr. Boilermaker 5. Today I have a review of Falling Skies, A Thing with Feathers. So this episode started with the aftermath of the Espheni attack from the last episode, and let's just say that really ended up on a cliffhanger because it ended with Tex blowing himself up after missing the shot on the Overlord, but presumably killing them all with his suicide last attack. So the episode opens up with everybody underground coming up and seeing all the rubble, and immediately Matt was like, oh my god, we gotta find my dad. And soon, Colonel Weaver, he finds what he presumes to be Tom, because he finds the rifle and everything. But we know that it's not Tom, we know that it was Tex. But Matt never gives up, he keeps searching for Tom, and that's what I really like to see, and it's really, really awesome. So this episode wasn't really action, because that was all the last episode, which was good. This one is more of a rebuilding and reconnecting episode. And the two characters that really stand out were Dingaan, who we really see him open up, and that's really awesome, because while he's been an important supporting character, we never really learn a lot about him throughout the series so far, or the season, because this is his first season. So that's really awesome to see. And the reason that we learn about him is we learn about his backstory, and how we learn about this is he's buried under the rubble with Tom, but Dingaan thinks that the reason he thinks he's gonna die and there's no way out because his son died due to Dingaan's negligence, and his son got buried alive. And Dingaan thinks, oh, now I'm buried alive, so this is like, it's coming, I got what was coming for me. So next, it's Tom and Dingaan. They're still trapped under, but what did they find? They find the Espheni ship that crashed, the beamer that crashed. So Tom's like, okay, I gotta try to get in there. So he just starts looking around underground, and he sticks his hand in this thing, which is like an Espheni biological whatever we don't really know about, but then it ends up biting him and is like fending off his attack, but they eventually get the hatch open and they get into the ship. Now, Tom once again goes around touching things, and a worm is inserted into his arm, and Dingaan looks around for, I don't know, like a knife or something to cut Tom open so he can get the worm out. So he pulls a knife stick thing, I don't really know what it is, it's an Espheni thing, out of what they don't know, but what we know is a bomb, and that was pulling the pin on the grenade, as they stated in the episode. So now that they're under a lot of time constraint, because they gotta get the worm out, and then they gotta barricade themselves in for when the beamer crashed, well, the bomb will blow up and they don't want to die. So, but that bomb exploding is their way out, and that's what gets them to be safe. Now for the other characters, the other big scene of the episode revolved around Maggie, because Maggie, we find at the beginning of the episode who Hal was looking for all last episode, couldn't find her, so she was stuck out in the explosion in the rubble. A giant, like, wood pillar or whatever lands on her, and she actually becomes paralyzed, she can't move, and Anne wants to do a surgery on her, but she's like, I won't do it without Maggie's permission. So Hal lies to Anne and says, oh yeah, Maggie said it's fine, she wants to do this, when Maggie did not want to. She doesn't want to get the alien Espheni DNA in her. So they try taking I don't even know what to call it, like the blood or whatever from the spikes in Denny, and transport it into Maggie. It didn't work, Maggie's still paralyzed. So then Ben, who was off with Lexi last episode, after Lexi reveals her peace plan, which we already knew about, it wasn't anything new, we find, Ben's like, nope, can't do this, so he leaves, goes back, finds Maggie paralyzed, and is like, I know what to do, we have to transplant my spikes onto Maggie. So they end up transplanting 3 spikes, and we don't know how the surgery is going to go, because we just can't know yet, so they just keep going, and I mean, that's when the beamer explodes, they find Tom, Matt's reunited with Tom, all the people are all together at the end, reconnecting after the attack, and then Maggie strolls along, and we find her walking. But, of course, she goes to Hal, she kisses Hal, and then slaps him for lying to her. And then, that's of course, the kiss was right in front of Ben, who sees it, and then is like, oh, but Maggie, I actually saved you, so then they go and hug and, like, talk, and I think there's going to be a real connection between them two now that they both have spikes. And you can see Hal a little pissed off, so Tom is like, Anne gives Tom a look, and is like, oh, okay, so go talk to him. So then Tom goes talks to Hal, and all's good there. And that's how the episode ends, is with Hal and Tom both looking at the moon. There's a blue spot on the moon. And that is really all going to be for today, guys. That's all. Please smash that like button, like and subscribe, and tell me what your favorite moment of this week's episode of Fallen Skies was, and I'll see you next time. This is Mr. Boilermaker 5, signing off.